On the outside, the Swift sports a sleek and modern design. Suzuki have introduced a new Horizon design line that wraps around the vehicle, creating a sense of motion. Rounded shoulder lines give it a sporty edge, while the iconic Suzuki badge proudly sits at the front of the bonnet. Lower headlight positions and L-shaped daytime running lights not only enhance visibility, but also add a touch of sophistication. And check out those clear rear tailgate lights.
A LISTNR production.
G'day, it's Tom Perri with you. The Victorian Government's legal bills are rising due to its historical abuse redress scheme. The Age newspaper is reporting the state's legal liabilities have risen by $74 million since May last year, which the government says is due to an increase in abuse claims. Those known to have suffered abuse are currently entitled to a $20,000 payment, but some have been able to obtain greater amounts through court action. 2 people have been hospitalised following a collision in Bendigo. The incident occurred along High Street in the suburb of Golden Square, where it's believed an elderly female driver veered off the road and into a parked car, the impact throwing a man into the air. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, while the 92-year-old driver was also transported to hospital for a checkup. An historic pub in the Mallee that was razed by fire could soon be demolished and rebuilt. Plans have been lodged with Swan Hill Council for a partial demolition of the Robinvale Hotel, much of which was damaged beyond repair in a blaze back in 2015. An application for the development is now available online, with ratepayers encouraged to provide feedback on the proposal. And now's the time to apply for this year's Community Grants program in Campaspe Shire, with local groups eligible for up to $4,000 to help fund projects or initiatives that'll benefit the community. Mayor Daniel Mackerel says it's easy to apply online
at our campaspe.vic.gov.au website under Community Grants, or they can actually ring our Community Development team and contact them directly.
Regional Victoria has bucked a nationwide trend in the latest PropTrack Home Price Index. It shows the state was the only one in Australia to see an annual fall in home prices in the 12 months to March, although Eleanor Cray from REA Group says they're still much higher than at the start of the pandemic.
That's exactly right. So we've seen that home prices in regional Vic over the past 5 years are up 40%. So that brings the median value of homes in regional Victoria to pretty close to $600,000.
Locally, the median property value in Bendigo has fallen by 1.28% since March last year, while in Sunraysia, prices are up by an average of 2.43%. The Nationals are continuing with their push to win the safe Labor seat of Bendigo at the upcoming federal election, with the party's Senator for Victoria, Bridget McKenzie, in town yesterday to campaign with local candidate Andrew Lefleen. Among the plans they're putting forward is a $5 billion infrastructure fund, which Senator McKenzie claims will deliver 500,000 new homes nationwide.
We're also stopping foreign investors competing with young Australians at auctions each and every Saturday. We want that to halt so that Australians can get a fair go at purchasing their own home.
And after copping flack for the pricing of the Trail of Lights art installation on Lock Island, Mildura City Council says they are committed to making the experience available to the community. In a lengthy statement posted to the council's website, Helen Healy said the current pricing of $45 per adult ticket is a starting point, and they are working to expand access options that balance affordability with operational costs. A regional Victorian MP has welcomed Peter Dutton's pledge to abandon Melbourne's proposed suburban rail loop if the coalition wins the federal election. The opposition leader yesterday promised to scrap $2.2 billion in Commonwealth funding for the project should he become PM. Member for Northern Victoria, Gail Broad, now wants the state government to rethink the project and spend a bit more money in the bush.
Rural and regional areas get about 13% of the state budget when it comes to infrastructure spending, and we have about 25% of the population or more. So I think it's important that we have a fair share, because if we want a healthy economy, we need healthy regions as well.
A Sunraysia man accused of murder could be released on bail as he awaits the date of his second trial. David Cartledge appeared before the Supreme Court in Melbourne yesterday to make the submission, with his defence lawyer arguing the case against him is extremely weak. Mr. Cartledge had previously been charged with the murder of David Butler, who was killed in a house fire at Redcliffs in February 2023. He faced trial earlier this year, but it was abandoned after a key witness for the prosecution failed to appear. Police have charged a Bendigo teenager after he was allegedly involved in a high-speed car chase. It's believed he was part of a group of teens who stole a sedan in Melbourne's eastern suburbs before they were pursued by police, with the vehicle reportedly reaching speeds of 250 k's an hour. The 14-year-old is expected to appear before the Children's Court at a later date. And briefly, plans for yet another childcare centre have been lodged with Greater Bendigo Council, with the facility being proposed for the fast-growing township of Huntley. Victoria is bracing for a horror flu season, with more than 10,000 cases having already been recorded so far this year. Data published by The Age has revealed the number of confirmed infections in the state is 47% higher than at the same time in 2024, and is also the highest number since authorities began regular quarterly reporting in 2000. The masthead also reports that hospitals nationwide have detected a spike in patients infected with influenza B. Candidates for the federal seat of Bendigo have been hitting the hustings. Incumbent MP and Labor candidate Lisa Chesters was yesterday joined by the Minister for Housing, Claire O'Neill, to announce that 112 new social and affordable homes would be built in the region under the government's Housing Australia Future Fund. Meantime, the coalition pledged $1 million to complete the Ironbark Gully Trail, with a path linking Eagle Hawk Road to Arnold Street should Liberal candidate Matt Evans or Nationals candidate Andrew Lefleen be elected. A Sunraysia man is expected to front court after an allegedly stolen ute was involved in a crash. Police say they spotted the Ford Ranger driving along Mildura's Etiwanda Avenue on Monday afternoon before it left the road at a bend on Gordon Avenue and collided with a tree. The 22-year-old male driver from Mildura was arrested at the scene and has been charged with multiple offences, including reckless conduct, speeding and driving while unlicensed. And briefly, Mildura City Council is committing nearly $17,000 towards the restoration of the Carwup Hall. Donald Trump's tariffs will hurt Americans more than us, so says the Victorian Farmers Federation in the wake of the US president's announcement yesterday. Although disappointed by the 10% levy imposed on all Aussie goods, VFF President Brett Hosking reckons we'll just find other countries who want our great beef or other produce.
There is plenty of market demand. It will just mean that a plane load of chilled beef that would have once been heading to America might make a detour and head somewhere else. Or what it might mean is an American consumer, when they go to buy a hamburger, might have to find an extra 10% of the price in their pocket.
A lack of crossbench support has seen Victoria's government put its new Emergency Services Fund on the back burner. The tax, which replaces the existing Fire Services Levy, was due to be voted on yesterday in State Parliament, but the vote was postponed, reportedly when ministers realised they didn't have the support of minor parties or independent MPs in the upper house. Meantime, the United Firefighters Union is the latest group to criticise the fund, with Union Chief Peter Marshall calling it an obscene cash grab. Regional road safety is in the spotlight this morning as new research reveals regional drivers are 5 times more likely to die on Aussie roads than those in the cities. Here in Victoria, we recorded 148 deaths on regional and rural roads last year, compared to 136 in the Metro Melbourne area, prompting calls from Australian Automobile Association Managing Director Michael Bradley for critical road rating data to be made public.
This is a huge problem in all of regional Australia. Australian voters are paying for these road upgrades and they're paying for the safety assessments that are being kept secret.
And medical research labs in Victoria are having to slash jobs in the face of a funding shortfall. The Herald Sun reports more than 100 jobs in the state have been cut in the past year, with one institution alone having closed 3 laboratories. In basketball, the Bendigo Braves women got their NBL 1 South season off to a strong start, downing the Miners in Ballarat on Saturday night, 82 points to 74. Meantime, the Braves men suffered a 34-point loss to their Ballarat counterparts. The final score 75 points to 109. The Tempe Tigers have secured a premiership in their very first Sunraysia Cricket Association season. They had an emphatic first innings victory against the Royals in the Division 3 Grand Final over the weekend, winning by 171 runs. Tonight sees the Bendigo Strikers playing in round 4 of the Victorian Netball League. They'll be taking on the City West Falcons, who are currently on top of the championship ladder and yet to lose a single game. Their clash is happening at the State Netball Centre in Melbourne from 7 p.m. Taking a look at local sport, and season openers will be played this Saturday in the Sunraysia Football League. Reigning premiers of the senior competition, Imperials will be hosting Oyen United at Brian Waitman Oval, while across the border, last year's runners-up, Wentworth, are meeting with Redcliffs at George Gordon Oval.
Unleash your vehicle's power beyond limits. Discover our exclusive range of Yuasa automotive batteries, engineered for unparalleled reliability and performance to power your journey like never before. Battery World. Power your passion.